couple of years ago was using these. They're called either flower bags or flower pouches. They're just a cheap bag. Basically, you fill them with compost and you put your plants through the holes. You then water them through the top and you hang them up. And what happens is the weight of the compost is very heavy, especially when you get them filled with water. And this drags down the wall, has to be reinforced, and from day one I could see they weren't going to be very good. Thing, tube, holes around it, it's got an internal watering tube, it's got more holes at the top which are quite large, and as you go down there's only 1 or 2 holes at the bottom which are less than a millimetre. The idea being, you fill it through this tube, the water goes down and it floods out from the top holes very quickly, waters the top. Because it's only a small hole in the bottom, it restricts. So the water's fairly evenly watered the whole way through. This tube locates onto a socket in the bottom of the tube and it's fixed fairly central once the compost goes in around it. How you fill them up is fairly easy. You take your tube, you take some multi-purpose compost, you put a cap on the top to stop the water going down the tube. You then, I usually use a hopper, but I'm only just showing this as an example. You put your compost in round the sides until it's filled up to the level of the first hole at the bottom. Don't worry about the mess, clear it up afterwards. You then get what I call these plug plants. You can buy these from all the big nurseries, trays 30 or 40 and they're quite cheap. It's what most people use. They're a good substantial plug with plenty of root system on it and a good leaf. And these just basically, you can mould these if they're fairly moist and you just pop them in the holes like this. Go all the way around. Be fairly careful with them because the root systems are still quite delicate when they're this young. Just push them in. Let's do the last one. Like that. And that's all you need to do. Then you take some more compost. Fill it up like that. It just needs a gentle tamp down all the way around. I'm not going to do it now, but then you fill up the next level to the next level of holes and you then put the next set of plug plants in, working all the way up. Probably takes about 10 minutes. It's just about the same time as a normal hanging basket. You then end up with column of plants like this. These were planted up about a week and a half ago. You then fill it through the central tube and then that's all it needs for about a week to 10 days. When it's this time of year, April, small root systems and a small leaf, they're just not calling on that amount of water. The worst thing to do with them I've found is to overwater them, because then you will rot off the root systems. It's only once you get into June, July and August that you really need to water these once a day. But that's all it needs, one watering, and you'd be putting over half a gallon of water there, and it literally takes 4 or 5 seconds. They save so much time and you're guaranteed of getting the whole thing watered. The other thing about them is they're universal. They will stand on a patio like this, freestanding, and you know, a lot of my friends have told me what they've noticed about them is they give height to the patio, because once this fills out it fills out to this sort of size with flowers. The other thing with it is it can also hang on a wall like a normal hanging basket. I've just brought these out today. These are ones that have been planted up for a couple of weeks now. So that can hang on a wall, and the other thing is they could also hang on chains, and they could hang down from pergolas, trees or whatever.